Nice to see that everybody's here. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Bitcoin. Happy New Year, Bitcoin predictions. Once again, my VEPS predictions have come true. Why is that? Because I read the VEPS. I know what the VEPS are, and I know how to read them. And they're very obvious to anybody who knows how to read them properly. And if you've been following along, you'd be very, very happy about what happened yesterday and in recent days. But it would also be not a surprise to you. So, once again, Bitcoin kicked off the year with a nice bang, with a move to the upside. And this was not a surprise to anybody who reads the VEPS properly. Why? Because the probabilities were indicating that there would be a nice movement, and what the propensity of the probabilities were, in fact, to the upside. If you look at the yearly time frame, Bitcoin has only had 4 technically down years in its history. Last year was not one of them. 2 years ago was one of them. It lost 65%. And then last year it regained 155%, basically coming back to practically the highs of 2022. So this year, so far, the very beginning of the year, it's a long time frame. If you look at the Bitcoin index chart, starting from back in 2009, that's 15 years now. 15 years of candles, which is not a very long history in terms of candles. But all you can really see from that is, especially if you put it on the logarithmic chart, which you should if you're looking at the VEPS and caring about percentage gains on your return on investment, well, then you'll see very clearly it is in fact a very bullish chart. There is not a reason to be extremely bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. Can price go down during the year? Of course. May it even end up being a down year? Sure, it's possible. But overall, the history of the coin is very bullish at the moment. And if you look at lower time frames, you'll see that confirmed. Go down to the quarterly, the 3-month time frame, you'll see the beginnings of some interesting histories on the VEPS. Go down to the monthly, you'll see very powerful information that shows you that in fact the asset is moving along very nicely, having had a complete mean reversion to the RMLR and is riding above the power mean and is primed for a move. And if you look at the weekly, you see very nicely on this week it closed, meaning the week it opened yesterday on New Year's Day. On this week it already closed the mean reversion to the 1110 RMLR, which it had been moving towards for some time, and which I said for weeks was going to close on or about the week of January 1st. Sure enough, January 1st, new week, it closed. And I've been telling you since several weeks already, it's going to be the week of New Year's. Look at the daily candle. Same thing. You can see it had several intersects of the power mean 30 length and the 1110 RMLR over the past week. It's had a number, at least 3 or 4 intersects. What does that mean? That means every time there's an intersect, there's an extremely high probability that there's going to be a move, a relatively nice move relative to the time frame you're looking at, within 0 to 4 candles. What is 0 candles? 0 candles is the candle you're currently on. What is 4 candles? It means 4 candles out from the current candle where the intersect happens. Right, so 1 candle later, it would be 0 to 3 candles left. Another candle after that will be 0 to 2 candles after that. Another candle after that will be 0 to 1 candles after that. And on the last candle of the high probability of a nice move, it'll be 0 candles, meaning on that candle. Okay? Does it happen? Yes, it happens almost like clockwork. It happens quite a lot. That when there's an intersect of the power mean and an RMLR, you get very nice moves. Happens practically like clockwork. Are there bigger moves when they're exactly intersects? Of course, sure, there are bigger moves sometimes. But are they necessarily as predictable? Well, sure, if other indicators are telling you that information, but with the RMLR, it's highly predictable. What's beautiful about the RMLR is it's literally showing you the future RMLR. Not just showing you this candle and the probability of what it will be in the future. It's actually showing you the future. It's a look into the future, right, of the direction of the RMLR, and it is correct. So, people want to say you can't tell the future. I say you don't know what the RMLR is or how it works, and you don't know what we've discovered about it at Alpha Trading. You certainly can tell some things about the future. That's one of them. The direction of the RMLR is something that we are able to predict with an extremely high degree of accuracy and reliability. Consistently, on any time frame, on any asset. Now, look at the lower time frames. 4 hour, 90 minute, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. Look at all the time frames. Look how many intersects happen. Look how many moves you see on entropy, just like you would on the higher time frames. Look how many moves you see on the volatility. If you know how to read that information, it really should be no surprise that Bitcoin made nice moves yesterday. Especially when I've been banging on about it. So if you've been listening to me, or my mates, my fellow co-founders and members of Alpha Trading, then you would know. Right? If you haven't, well, maybe this is a wake-up call for you. Make 2024 your best year as a trader so far. Right? Maybe that's something to consider. Right? It doesn't cost anything to even join. Right? Just come and learn for free. You get free tools and everything too. It's kind of crazy. But the problem is most people, they don't want to actually learn something new. And we see it every day. Right? I can teach you 6 things that will change your life forever. How many things do you learn that have no significant impact on your life? And I can teach you those 6 things, and they're really, really easy to learn, in my opinion. A plus B equals C. Right? A minus B equals C. Right? Etc. Minus A minus B equals minus C. Or C, right? Or whatever. It's 6 things that happen on a regular basis we call tendencies. And they happen in volatility. And they happen in entropy. And they happen so reliably that calling them tendencies is almost a bit of a misnomer. But we do call them tendencies because geometric Brownian motion, otherwise known as randomness, almost ensures that they don't actually happen 100% of the time. However, if you actually know what's what, then you'll see they happen just about every single candle. Now, there are times when price action will do a slightly opposite thing of what the returns or the volatility or the entropy are saying. All that's doing is rebalancing and finding the direction towards following the volatility and the entropy and the returns. Why? Well, because price action does that. It follows, if anything, it follows the returns, right? Price action follows the volatility. It is a result of the volatility. Price action does not determine the volatility. Price action follows it. You get price action because of volatility, not the other way around. What is the volatility? The volatility, once again, is the standard deviation of returns of log returns on investment, right? Standard deviation of log returns on investment. Otherwise, it's known as the standard deviation of returns. That is the volatility. What is entropy? Entropy is the disbursement of energy through space. What does that mean on a pixel moving up and down the screen? Very good question. If you want, come and learn. You will learn how that works in math and why that is relevant to trading and why entropy shows you exactly when an asset is in trend or when it's in a random walk. That's the only two conditions an asset can be in. And our indicators show you exactly that. So, like I said, there's a lot you can learn there. I highly recommend it. It's free, but you have to want to learn. On that note, Happy New Year. May 2024 be your most prosperous year yet, and may you have many more to come. Happy trading.